Take a look at this high-speed visualization of abstract data streams smoothly transitioning into a cinematic, glowing camera lens. Artificial intelligence tools are currently taking over heavy-lifting visual effects tasks like rotoscoping and object tracking, but mapping the precise timing, weight, and visual rhythm of typography still requires a human eye. In the next few minutes, we are going to build a high-energy kinetic text sequence entirely from scratch, using only After Effects' native toolset, no third-party plugins required. Start by creating a new composition at 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames per second. Pick a heavy, bold font. You want plenty of surface area so the stroke effects we apply will be clearly visible. Automating your workflow with AI only works if you already know how to direct the software. Mastering these manual principles ensures you keep total creative control over the final output. Step 1. Type your target word out, placing every single letter on its own separate layer. Select them all and use the Align panel to distribute them evenly across the workspace. Next, prepare the text for shape conversion by turning off the solid text fill and adding a 4-pixel stroke to every layer. Right-click your text layers and select Create Shapes from Text. This converts the typography into workable vector paths. Delete the original text layers to clear your timeline. With your shape layers ready, add the Trim Paths property. Set a keyframe for the end value at 0%, move forward 2 seconds, and push it to 100. This creates a continuous drawing effect along the paths. This animated diagram shows how we stagger the sequence. By shifting each letter's keyframes exactly 10 frames further down the timeline, you create a cascading, sequential reveal. Grab the pen tool to draw a connective line straight through the center of your word. Make sure you click off all existing layers first, otherwise you will accidentally mask an existing shape instead of drawing a new line. Converting static type into shapes and driving them with staggered trim paths is the core technique for transforming static typography into a sequential animation. Let's bring in a hero letter, a solid version of your first initial. Press P for position. Right-click the stopwatch and select Separate Dimensions to isolate the Y-axis. Set a Y position keyframe to drop the letter in from the top edge of your frame. Add a rotation keyframe alongside it so the letter tumbles slightly as it falls. On the left, the shape falls at a constant speed. We want a shape accelerating rapidly downwards. The flat horizontal line confirms constant speed. Switch to the Speed Graph Editor. Drag Bezier handles inward for sharp impact, then widen top nodes into sweeping curves. Properly adjusting these velocity curves in the speed graph turns a basic software-driven slide into a realistic physics-based animation. To finish the drawing sequence, animate the remaining letter shapes using the scale property. Have them pop up to 115% before settling back down to 100%. Instead of keyframing each letter manually, simply copy those scale keyframes and paste them onto the sequence. Then enable Global Motion Blur to smooth out the movement. Let's move into compositing. Select all your layers and pre-compose them into a single sequence. Duplicate that sequence, unlink the scale properties, and set the Y-axis to -100% to flip it upside down. Drop the opacity of that flipped layer down to 15%. Draw a mask around the bottom edge and increase the feathering to fade it out, creating a clean floor reflection. For the final visual polish, create a new adjustment layer and apply a glow effect. Keep it subtle by setting the intensity to 0.3, giving your strokes a sleek neon profile. On that same adjustment layer, apply a tint effect. This takes the native black and white values of your composition and maps them directly to your chosen custom colors. Combining environmental reflections with a unified glow and color map transforms the raw animation into a polished, multi-dimensional scene. Play back your final render. The staggered lines, precise gravity curves, and glowing reflections are fully integrated into a single cohesive sequence. The best part of this setup is your adjustment layer. Because the tint effect acts as a master control, you can instantly swap the entire animation's color palette to match different client brand guidelines. Generative AI tools can produce entire video clips on demand, but they lack the ability to cleanly construct layered files or adjust a specific keyframe's easing for a client. Building structural competency in After Effects keeps you adaptable. If you want to keep building your underlying motion skills instead of relying entirely on automated plugins, hit the subscribe button. Knowing exactly how your tools work underneath the hood provides the technical control needed to direct whatever new software the industry introduces next.